Hello and welcome to AnyChat, where you come to listen to us scream at you through your headphones. With me today, I have Alex,
Always.
and only Alex. Oh, by the way, the name of this chat is Annie versus Chat: The Dawn of Absence.
So, um, superhero movies have been a theme, lately. For example, I watched, The Dark Knight again a couple days ago.
It's never not a good time to watch that movie.
Yep, and Gil watched, Batman versus Superman Ultimate Super Duper Deluxe Director's Cut 3.5 hour long version.
Oh, it's so much better than the regular one. It made me want to cry
I can
because
believe that.
because I'm just like, why would you cut this out? What is wrong with you, Zack Snyder? It probably would have been significantly more well received. Because there's character development, there's scenes so people aren't confused with lines that characters say.
Uh, like, one
Ugh.
of the big problems with the theatrical release is it just jumps around. Like it
Yes,
low feels like they just cut scenes out because they're just like, we don't have time for this.
they did cut scenes out, a lot of them.
Mm,
It was to the point where I had to Google, and there was like an entire, like, 16 paragraphs of all the stuff they cut out in that half hour.
I see.
Yes. It explains what Lois and Clark are doing significantly better throughout that entire movie, as well as what Lex is doing.
Well,
Because that
Lois
movie is a
and
Batman
Clark,
movie.
like in BVS, like in the theatrical release, they're just kind of there until the end.
Yes.
Like,
So,
literally all the development is given to Batsy and Wonder Woman.
yes. There,
All of it, like 95% of it in that film.
there's a lot more that is on Clark. In fact, it gives Clark way more character development than he had in that movie
Okay,
in the theatrical release.
okay.
Oh my gosh. Like, I was watching it and I was like, I don't remember it being this good because I hadn't seen it in a year. And I'm watching the uncut version. I didn't even realize all this stuff was added in. In fact, that line where the photographer dies at the beginning because he gets shot in the head by the terrorists,
Uh,
they never said that he was Jimmy Olsen in the theatrical of release.
yeah, he was just kind of there.
Yes,
You're
they
like,
say
okay,
it.
where's that guy?
Yeah, and then they say it in the uncut version. And I'm like, Jimmy Olsen is one of the three major characters of the Superman buddies.
And he just got axed.
Yep, intro and then axed. Okay.
Yeah, I feel it. I also watched Watchmen, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. This is the first
I've
time I'd seen it.
I've seen a majority of Watchmen.
It's it's pretty good, but it's really long, and the middle drags more than a movie needs to drag
Hmm.
because it had a bad case of not cutting anything out of the comic except for some weird crap like Ozymandias's backstory. Like, it cut almost all of that out. It's like, why? His backstory isn't even all that long. Why did you cut it? Like, Ozymandias is important. I promise.
So yeah, essentially the writer of the comic book said, I wrote it thinking with the thought in mind that this can never be turned into a movie, and the directors at DC were like, suck a dick, we're turning it into a movie.
Honestly, the film is pretty good though. Like, there's not a whole lot to really criticize about it, other than the fact that it's really long and it kind of drags in the middle, just because there's so much going on and they didn't cut anything from the graphic novel.
Hmm. Yeah, it's 3.5 hours, but Batman versus Superman couldn't be 3 hours. Thank you, Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
I think Zack Snyder's directing style went well with the Watchmen stuff.
it did. His cinematography and sort of disjointed all over the place matched pretty well with Watchmen's a billion and a half plot threads and
Mhm.
Uh, because Zack Snyder literally took every action scene and made it really flashy and sparkly and dynamic. It helped the more mundane parts just by, when some action happens, it's really fun to look at.
Mhm. Yeah. So apparently there was a Watchmen Superman crossover that I haven't read yet,
Ooh,
and I might watch it. Oh God, there's an everything wrong with Watchmen video, and those are just cheap jabs.
yeah, pretty much.
Sometimes they're not even funny.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
feel it.
the Watchmen.
On trailers because
Mhm.
those are shorter,
Yeah.
and they get the key points that this is kind of what you can make fun of this movie for.
Watchmen was something, all right.
Mm.
The Rorschach scenes, though, I just was like, oh, this is why this has an R rating. I remember now.
Yeah, Rorschach is just way too savage.
Like that part where he throws the frying grease on that dude's face.
Yes.
I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because, like, anytime I forget that it's rated R, Rorschach would just be like, hey, remember this?
Yep.
And I'd be like, oh, yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man,
Oof. I
that
like
was
how
fun.
I like how that like Mr. Manhattan is the obvious Superman, and he's like, "Did I say Superman? I meant God."
Jonathan Osterman, OG, good God.
He's in so many debates.
Yeah. Debate people really like Watchmen for some reason.
Yeah, it's not even like you should be really using Watchmen characters for debate, in my opinion.
Oh,
It,
why that?
because well, there's like a lot less source material to drag
That's true.
on. If you're gonna be using books for debate, like
Pick
I just
someone.
feel like yeah, there's like a lot like pick someone with some more info on them.
Mm,
Because Watchmen info is not easily accessible. It's just like go read the goddamn graphic novel.
I get that.
Whereas here's an example as if you're doing something on Cyclops, you go, oh look, pulls up anything. Hey, I'll look at all this information on Cyclops.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean anything's wrong with debating Watchmen characters, but I just think it's a little harder and it gives you a handicap.
yeah, I get that. Anyway, yeah, so we're doing verses today.
Yep. And we're bypassing mediums, so we can just say stuff that you just want to see. Like, for example, Cole McGrath versus. Um, I don't want to say the Young Justice team because there's Superboy and Miss Martian, but
Yeah, correct.
if you exclude them with the OG Young Justice team, it's not that bad.
I
With
agree.
K,
Um,
with
Actually,
KF
though,
Aquaman.
this too Cole could possibly take out Miss Martian because
Hmm.
by manipulation,
Hmm.
but he does well. He does have resistance to psychic interference because he fought Sasha, who
It's because
used like,
Musica has the same power. It's because of the electromagnetic fields around their entire bodies.
okay, all right, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, so essentially what happens is the electricity interferes and the psychic power rebounds.
Okay, fair enough. Also,
That's
low-key, a lot of some of my favorite missions in the first Infamous game were the ones where you have to deal with Sasha's psychic bullcrap while you're fighting people
Mm-hmm.
because she like makes psychic constructs of reapers and crap, and you're like, oh, those aren't real reapers, but they still hurt me.
Yeah, in Batman games, actually, when you have to fight like characters like Scarecrow, you do have to do a lot of crap like that. Or anyone else who has hallucinogens and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun mechanic. Um, I kind of wish they did some stuff like that in the other two Infamous games because they
Mhm.
did.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I guess it
understand.
would kind of feel like a rehash, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a
Um,
wasted potential sort of thing when you have people with crazy mind powers in the first game and then you never touch on it again, and it was a fun mechanic.
I think it's just because they suck it.
What?
I said I think they really just wanted to be like ice and fire. That's all that matters.
I get that.
Because what's her face can like summon swamp creatures. Fire Chair.
Yeah,
I don't even understand how her powers work at all, to be honest.
it's a really weird power. Is like she like manipulates oil.
Yes, and then can create mutant beasts and
Yeah,
manipulate them.
yeah, and then burn people with burning oil. Um, yeah, she's got weird powers. Quo's powers are just more normal. Like
Yeah, they're vanilla ice. Oh, that was not a pun intended. That was not intended. I didn't even think about that until it came out of my mouth.
Rip. Um,
I chose Quo because Quo is best girl, though. So
yeah. Um, and then the villain Bertrand is just turns into some giant monstrosity behemoth monster thing, and that's his power.
yep,
And
yep,
then of course there's the Beast, who's just Brand from League of Legends.
same. Oh man, I just remembering how the shield is just so good in Infamous One.
Oh, the shield is so good in Infamous. The fact that they got rid of the shield in Second Son really changes up the way gameplay works.
Well, that shield is so relevant to everything you do.
Yeah. Um, like the thing about the third Infamous game is you take like the same amount of damage that you do in the first two games, but you just don't have the defensive abilities you have. So you really gotta play up, what different offensive abilities you have in your arsenal to going into every combat. Which is why, like, I played the first two Infamous games on hard. I went into Second Son and I died on the first mission like 4 times.
Rip.
Yeah, just because I'm like, I can't like hide behind crap and take people out from a distance, and my powers are different from the first game. What do I do?
So this kind of reminds me of something. When I went to a friend's house and played Infamous One for the first time because I'd only played the demo for two.
Yep.
He's just like, watch out for those teleporting guys with the guns. They're really annoying, and I kill it on my first try. And he's like, that doesn't count. And I was like, why doesn't it count? He says, because you ran away 3 times. And I was like, yeah, because I didn't want to die.
Yeah. Cole fights really defensively. Like it helps that there's electricity everywhere that you can go and bunny up and heal by.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's a lot of running away, repositioning, shooting from a distance, praying to God they don't see you.
yeah, exactly. Um, Cole can be summed up really well by lets you, at least in the first game, the ability that lets you recharge when you're next to electric thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then the sniper shot. you just hold up next to an electric thing, you go into sniper mode, and you just infinite snipe people.
Yes.
Because that's probably, the most effective way to take down people that you have.
hmm The machine gun electric bolt that recharges on hit was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Because, like, that is just so good late game.
Yep.
Because, like, in the first game, you could just spam your bolts. But in the second one, they take energy. So when you're, like, in tight spots, you're like, oh, God, every bolt counts. But then that spam mechanic helps you
Yep.
continue.
Because you can just aim at someone and just spray, and then you get juice back, which you can use your more explosive moves.
Mm-hmm. Man, Infamous games are just so good.
Anyway, we read OG Young Justice crew, so we're talking like
Aqualad.
Kid
You can
Flash
include,
and Robin.
yeah. You can include Speedy if you want to, / Red Arrow. Because he's
Okay.
technically OG Young Justice.
Okay.
I mean, that probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I get that.
KF is a good match for Cole because the electricity won't hurt him as much as the other guys.
Yeah. Also, Cole isn't especially fast.
Yeah, Cole is like 20 miles per hour in a sprint,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And when he rides on the rails, he's faster than that. But
Yeah. It's like he's got to be hit probably like what probably like 60 I want to say maybe
yeah,
because
it's fast to the point where you're faster than like cars, but like faster than.
yeah because I want to say because like they're on the streets so they're probably like going like 30 to 40 so I want to say he's probably like 60 on the rails because you like can pass those things pretty easily.
Yeah.
60 to 80 yeah somewhere in there somewhere.
But he also has superhuman reflexes,
Yes.
which helps a lot. And I'm of course saying this because when you go into sniper mode, it slows down time.
Yes.
Um,
That's why KF is one of the best matches in that for him.
yeah. Um, Robin could probably gadget it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He'd
And
probably smoke bomb as much as possible to stall for time.
yeah. Whereas Aqualad is a situation where when he uses his water manipulation doohickey things,
Yeah.
he's gonna do bonus damage to Cole, but Cole's gonna do bonus damage to him as well.
Yes.
So that's kind of a wash.
Speedy is just Robin with arrows.
Huh.
Speedy is just less smart Robin with arrows.
Yeah, pretty much. And another thing to take into account is Cole's got a healing factor.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the OG Young Justice members don't have a healing factor to the same degree.
They don't, but KF heals.
Yeah, that was what I was guessing. Hello?
Oh, you cut out.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, but it was on my end, so.
Oh, okay. It was KF also heals quickly, and I'm like, yeah, I probably thought about that. I wasn't sure if Aqualad had fast healing because
Aqualad has super thick skin to the point where knives just don't work normally. Like, just the tip gets in.
Because of
not
pressure underwater shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why he doesn't take much damage physically.
But Cole's just gonna do that.
So that's why it doesn't seem like he takes a lot of damage, but Kid Flash can get up after being like slammed into a steel wall in like a couple minutes.
I get that.
Basically, I think it'd be Kid Flash would have to keep him on his toes.
Yeah.
While the other guys think of something.
Yeah. I think it's a case here of if Cole fought someone with all their powers combined, um, Cole would probably win. But because it's multiple adversaries, each with a different power set, he'd probably get overwhelmed because Cole's just not the type of person who fights multiple superpowered people at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't have experience doing that.
Yes. Which is why when they gang up on you, Cole's just like, oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Like, you know, he can beat, you know, a bunch of goons up, but, you know, like every time in Infamous, when you fight even, you know, street tier enemies that have superpowers, when there's more than one of it, it's rough.
Yes.
Because they have superpowers, even though they're not, you know, boss tier characters. It's still rough.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. The teleportation mechanic was so annoying when you finally get to their face and they start shooting you from a different angle. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, the teleporting Reapers, they're, they're so great.
They're so
'Cause,
evil. They're more annoying than bosses.
their powers are literally, oh, you hit me once, I'm gonna teleport somewhere else and shoot you. Oh, and I also can just fire like concussive shockwaves.
Yeah, they have really strong psychic powers, which makes me wonder why they just don't, team up and leave, like, take over the city rather than just coming at Cole in groups of 3.
Um, Probably because they're all mind controlled by Sasha, and she's not really looking, and she's not really aiming to take over the city.
But after you beat her, don't they just still, like, keep popping up, though?
Yeah, but every time in story mode, when you run into them, it's because, you know, Sasha's doing something.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like, after you beat her, she just gets captured by the First Sons. And, you know, she's not out of the picture. She just gets forced to work with the First Sons for a while.
It just feels like when you get the random encounters, it's like, why are you here?
Yeah, I get that. But it's not like they could, you know, justify getting rid of fun random enemies from the map just because
Yeah, I
the
know.
boss is, you know, out of commission.
The most annoying ones are the suicide bombers because you never know when they're coming from.
Same. And they
And
also run at like 20 miles an hour.
yes, and they blitz you, and Cole has to get a running start to get away.
Yes.
And Cole's just like, oh god, because like whenever you're like walking, minding your own business in the game, you just hear the screaming, and you look around, and you never know where they are, and they run out from a group of people, and you're like, oh dear god.
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's the freaking, you know, teleporting Esper Reapers. There's I'm just talking the superpowered people in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know the superpowered random enemies in the second game are a little different, but um, you know, because there wasn't a ray spear blast that gave a bunch of people superpowers.
Yeah, they're just mutants.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Then um, the the Alden's, you know, trash men. They've got the people that you know, they spawn, you know, little trash constructs and shoot you with missiles.
Yeah,
And then they have the golems who just, you know, grab a bunch of trash and turn themselves into behemoths.
the behemoth that's just machine guns trash.
Yes.
Oh my god, that mission. If you
Yes.
don't use your shield, you die.
Yes.
Like,
Um,
the first time I was trying to like use my shield as little as possible, and I'm like, okay, this is actually impossible without my shield. All right, that's how it's gonna be.
yep. Then the First Son's enemies, they have uh, the people who like you know make like super projections of themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know stomp around and destroy crap because they turn into freaking 20-foot projections of themselves. And then there's the invisible rocket launcher guys. And those guys are annoying. Oh my god. Because they just turn invisible and you can't see them on your mini-map. You can just hear them and you're like, oh god, there's one of these guys around.
Yeah, having your sound on like
behind you and rocket launch you to the face.
Having your sound on in Infamous games is very important.
Yes. Because you just can't hear sound cues that signify, basically, if you don't react, you're gonna die. Yeah.
My friend just texted me that they were talking about the different, oh dear God, what the heck just happened?
What just happened? What?
All of my windows just closed on my computer.
Rip.
Let me get on AnyChat before we go off air.
Okay.
Good God, what the heck? Please load faster. All right, let's see. Okay. I got back and saved it in time.
Excellent.
But, yeah. Cole's got good powers. What about Spidey versus Static?
That'd be interesting. I guess the first question is, does Spidey's webbing conduct electricity?
Oof.
Because I don't know that off the top of my head.
I don't know either, actually.
Because
I swear Electro is a threat for a reason.
Yeah, I get that.
I know in the movies it does, which is why he tries to avoid, making contact. But, oh god, in the comics I have no idea.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's really important to that matchup. It's nice that they're both street level people with very different powers, though.
Yeah, Static can fly, and his way of flying is so cool.
Yes.
His way of flying is like some of the best flying I've seen in like street level stuff. He freaking creates a magnetic charge between the ground and whatever metal thing he's on.
Yep. It's great.
In the show, he uses tinfoil. I was like, that's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, man, that show is such a good show.
Yeah, that's great. That was classic. I watched that when I was a kid.
Yeah, so did I. Though I was about 4 years younger than you, so I probably remember a little less.
Yeah.
But that was that. It's a good matchup, like.
Yeah.
Because he's got aerial superiority, but like physical superiority goes to Spidey.
Yep. I think what it kind of comes down to is Static can range.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Spidey can too, but let's be real here. Electricity is a lot faster than webs.
Yeah, and the flying doesn't help either in Spidey's case.
Exactly.
If Spidey can get a good solid hit, it's done. But if Static just stays in the air like he normally does...
Yep, it'd be hard.
Yeah. Because Static isn't... It's not like Spidey's that fast. He can still see him coming.
Yes. Spidey's just, pretty fast.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's definitely a good one. it just like because they're also both familiar with fighting in cities.
Yes, they're both, urban types.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like if Spidey, try to, do the turnaround and go around a building and try to, get the drop on Static, I feel like Static would just go in the air or further up a building.
Yeah. Um, One of the big problems that Spidey would have is, yeah, he can climb, but he can't ascend nearly as easily as he can move horizontally.
Yeah, Spidey requires a lot of jumping, crawling, and pulling,
Mm,
swinging, whereas
mm,
Static just, floats. Ooh,
mm.
he can just magnetically charge the building as he goes up.
Yep.
I mean, if he can get like a web off on one of Static's hands,
Yep.
he's in a lot of better position.
Yep.
But I think it'll only hold him temporarily because he can do it through his feet too, which is how he keeps
Ah,
stable. But I think if Static superheats it with electricity, he can break through the webbing.
probably. Um,
If it's raining, they both lose.
Same.
Yeah, that's actually what happens. Static fires the electricity. Static dies through electric shock. Spidey dies from just extreme severe electric shock, and they're both just toasted people on the ground.
Rip.
Yep.
Um,
I first encounter, I think probably Static. Second encounter, maybe Spidey.
yeah. I feel like Spidey would probably compensate in, a second encounter.
Yeah. Static's not preppy, but he's really good first encountery.
Yeah.
And because his powers are pretty, solid, which helps him
Yep.
fight like all those weird things that he just ends up encountering in his franchise.
Yeah. Um, it would be probably the first time Spidey'd be like, "How do I even fight this?" And the second time Spidey would just be like, "I can't let him get any distance, so I just need to stay right on him."
Yeah. Um, Another idea that I like is Static versus Terra, but like Terra gets so destructive when she throws tantrums.
Yeah, I get that.
Hmm. 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 What's a good one? Ooh, Deathstroke versus Cap America. Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, that's almost like a sword versus shield argument.
Yes. Both super soldiers.
Hmm.
It's just Cap. Cap doesn't have as much experience as D-Stroke. It's because D-Stroke wasn't frozen at any point in his life, even though I don't understand why Cap is frozen for like 20 years. Because it's a lot less time in the comics than it is in the movie.
Yeah, I know. Um, I think to an extent it's because Marvel was like, "Do we really need a super patriotic superhero right now?"
Yeah. I believe Deathstroke is like 60
Hmm.
and Cap is like 90.
Hmm.
Probably putting Deathstroke during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think D-Stroke's from the Vietnam War, I would say.
Yeah, but the big thing is they're both super soldiers who have, extended lifespan because of super soldier serum.
Yeah. No one ever comments on that because Deathstroke is just so cool.
Yeah. Like, that's really sweet.
It's just that they're so different that no one ever is like, yeah, it's a ripoff. No, it's just like, no, it's fine.
Hmm. I get that. Let's see. I think just because of the way Deathstroke works, he would probably have advantage in a first encounter because he'd prep to try and kill Cap.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
He has.
However, if you just throw Deathstroke and Cap, into an arena and say fight to the death, it's a really even match. You know what I'm saying? Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, I cannot.
How about now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, my battery saver activated and turned off my microphone.
Fun.
Yep. Because that's how phones should work. Okay.
Well,
Battery saver. Let me just turn off the thing that phones' main functions need. Okay. Yeah, alright, so. Fight to the death, and that's where my mic got turned off and everything went blank.
Oh. Yeah. I was basically saying, if you throw both of them into an arena and say fight to the death, it's really close.
Yeah. Deathstroke, when he preps, gets super magical weapons because he has the money for that to kill people. It's funny.
Well, yeah. How else do you think he manages? He has superhuman abilities, but he'll do missions and just take jobs that have Superman breathing down his back.
Yes, he has a sword that does bonus damage to gods. He used that to fight Wonder Woman. Because he was like, I'm not doing this without something to fight Wonder Woman.
Deathstroke is so cool.
Yeah. Especially since Wonder Woman doesn't have an obvious weakness. Hashtag demigod life.
Yeah. I mean, she's not like Soups, where, push comes to shove, you can use magic against Soups.
Mm-hmm. She's got her gauntlets are made in the realm of the gods, so they're even immune to Darkseid's beams.
That's pretty worth.
Yeah, and they eradicate matter. The only things they can't kill are things made in the realm of the gods, Doomsday, and Superman. Those are the only things Darkseid can't kill with his beams.
Omega Beam's OP.
Yeah. That's why he one-shot New 52 Superman in the movie and in the comic book with one beam. Not even two beams, it was one beam and it was just one shot. Because it was enough to knock Superman unconscious for hours.
Yeah?
Hashtag Darkseid life.
Yeah, Darkseid OP. Yeah, but I guess, probably, the first thing to take into account is what gear would Deathstroke have?
On a normal basis, assuming he's not fighting superheroes, he'd have his super Kevlar, that's what I call it. Shoulder pads, mask, I think that's reinforced carbon fiber. He carries around 2 swords, a bow staff, and a pistol.
Okay. Sounds about right. He has a gear advantage over Cap.
Yeah.
But
Cap has vibranium, that's the thing.
It's pretty OP.
Yeah, the vibranium adamantium combo shield thing he's got going on there.
Yeah.
Carries around 2 swords just in case one breaks. Usually doesn't go dual wielding.
Well, why would you need to? Low key dual wielding is just to look cool.
Yeah.
When you're Deathstroke, you don't need to dual wield.
True. That's why Anakin always loses the second lightsaber when he dual wields. Poor Anakin.
Well, I mean, the benefits the dual wielding gives you is like a surprise factor, low key.
Yeah. Um.
Unless, of course, you're like, uh, you have a longer weapon, which is your primary weapon, and then you have a shorter weapon for parrying.
That's what Ahsoka Tano does later. She takes up dual wielding style, has a mini lightsaber and then a long lightsaber.
Yeah, like that's viable because, well, that's the way like a duelist dual wields. You have a parrying dagger, and then you have a whatever your sword of choice is for your main hand.
Or you could be Dracula Mihawk and just have a dagger for wrecking scrubs.
Yes.
Oh, beginning One Piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it, at the end of the day, Deathstroke just eventually overwhelms Cap after all the tech comes out.
Yeah.
I also think Deathstroke has a grappling hook.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Seems like something handy to have just so you can get out of tight situations.
yeah. Cap usually just uses the shield for actually everything.
Yeah.
Actually, it amazes me that Cap just doesn't carry around a grappling hook. Cap, why don't you?
It,
You
it, it
should.
literally just limits him. It's not like he would even need a grappling gun.
Like,
You can freaking throw the hook.
yeah. That'd be so helpful to like get up buildings or like mountains or
Yep.
like hills.
Yep.
God damn, what the heck? I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, you're a street level villain, you use a shield, there are people with jet. Why don't you have some sort of grappling hook?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
The more I think about it, the more it just seems impractical that he just doesn't have at least that.
Yeah.
It's not like he can't be like, hey, some government organization, please give me a grappling hook. Because I'm pretty
It's
sure.
not like someone would say no.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow.
Decision Cap loses because he doesn't have a grappling hook.
It's not even just that. It's the fact that I take. Because I've been playing Batman so much, and I'm just like, yeah, as a street level hero, because like Spidey has his webs, I'm thinking, and I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, you don't have any sort of rope or anything, Cap. How do you get places without a car or a plane? What are you doing? Please. Oh my god. Also, you can be hardcore like Batman is sometimes and shoot the grappling hook through people's legs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Spidey is more practical than you, Cap. A teenager who made super technologically advanced things to shoot webs is more practical than you.
Please.
Oh my god. That's actually terrible. Poor Cap.
Poor Cap.
Because I mean, oh god, yeah. No wonder Marvel never released a street villain style game like the Batman ones. Because only Spider-Man has grappling hook style stuff. Oh, Spidey.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is popular confirmed because he has grappling hook style stuff.
Same. Another thing to note, like Wolverine's in the same boat there.
Yeah. I just think he climbs stuff with his claws stuff most of the time.
We could, I guess.
Because I swear I've seen him do that. But every time he fights against like a flying enemy, he just sits there and like looks at them because he can't jump that high because he has freaking adamantium.
Yes.
He has to get a running start to get any sort of momentum, and he jumps like 4 feet off the ground, which is why he turns his body like flat to get like the most, ups, because that's as much as it's gonna get.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, poor Wolverine. Yeah, but I think Wolverine would just like snap the line on the grappling hook because he's so heavy.
Possibly.
I think that's the main reason he doesn't have one. Plus, they have a jet as the X-Men, so.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, it's like, man, all those scenes where they're just getting carried by like Angel or someone else with flying powers makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Rip Iron Man, rip Wolverine because Angel can't carry that.
Yeah.
That is too heavy. Angel would be like, please, you're breaking my arms.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm starting to like think about it. I'm like, Nightwing has one, Deathstroke has one. I'm like thinking of all these street characters that just have them. Yeah, there is just no reason that Cap shouldn't have one. It's not like he's that heavy.
Yeah.
Marvel, get on it. Give him a grappling hook.
Yep.
Do it.
Actually, speaking of that, let's go the Falcon versus Angel.
Ooh, regular Angel?
Yeah, regular Angel.
Oh, okay, because Archangel would destroy.
Yes, absolutely.
Regular Angel. Oof. That's a good one.
Yep.
Falcon's got more military experience, but like, Angel has like lots of experience fighting people with weird stuff powers. Because he's got the X-Men training.
Yep.
Huh.
Falcon also has his bird ESP thing.
Yeah. I believe so.
Yep.
I think if Falcon can injure one of Angel's wings, he wins.
Probably.
Because poor old Angel is just actually Angel without the holy powers. Poor Angel.
It would be a really interesting fight to watch, just because, you've got, Sam Wilson flying around, and you have Angel flying around, and it would like 100% just be an aerial dogfight between people who can fly, basically.
Yeah.
Supported by wings, not just I can fly.
Yes. Wings often limits what dynamic angles you can take. Rip wings.
I actually might give Angel an advantage in just like a dogfight because
his movements are more natural. He can do stuff like that.
Yeah, well, where Falcon has to, put on his, flight wings, Angel just has them.
Yes.
Like, intrinsically.
Oh, God. No, I just got distracted with a different fight in my head that actually sounds kind of funny. But I think if they're in like a place with a lot of like obstructions in the air, I think Angel could probably take it.
Yeah.
Because Angel can change directions a little easier, and his turns are less sharp, they're more curved because he can fly like a bird. Whereas Sam has a jetpack wing thing going on.
Yeah.
However, if they're in like an open place, I think if Sam can just do any of his little tech fire off things at Angel's wings, Angels go down.
You're probably right.
That I think that's influenced by what's in the sky. However, if Angel just blitzes him, then rip Sam.
Yeah. So what's the match you came up with?
Kid Bucky versus Kid Robin, Dick Grayson.
Huh. That's interesting.
Because Bucky's a ripoff of Robin. Oh my god. Poor- and Robin became cool recently, whereas Kid Bucky never became cool.
Yeah. Um. There's the whole Kid Bucky is actually a spy sent to do uh the stuff that Cap wouldn't do because he's a Boy Scout
Yeah.
angle, right? But you could argue, well, no, that's kind of a moot point because we're talking Kid Dick Grayson. But if we were just talking like Kid Robin, Damien's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
As in, do stuff that Batsy's like, don't do that.
Kid Robin is Batman, but susceptible to anxiety.
Yeah.
Because Dick is a normal person. He's one of the
Yes.
most normal Batman people. That's why he doesn't dress up like a giant animal. he puts on an acrobatic jumpsuit and is just like this. I'm doing it.
Yep. It's superhero time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. And his equipment is like smoke bomb, grappling hook, electric baton. Done.
Yep.
And then like a couple spare like battering things that he's got going on because shuriken's always nice. Kid Robin's stuff is he's got a staff, he's got smoke bomb, and then a couple again shuriken style stuff he's got going on. I want to say that tech-wise, as long as Bucky doesn't have a gun, Robin has the edge hardcore.
I would agree, just because Bruce has amazing tech.
Yeah. And what Robin's got is essentially mini versions of everything Batman has, but Batman doesn't like using weapons.
Yes.
Dick's entire thing is based on his staff and batons, which goes with his acrobatic stuff because he jumps over you and just hits you in the head with batons because he's like that. Bucky doesn't have a grappling hook either, does he?
I don't think so, no.
God dang it, Bucky. If they're in like an enclosed area, like for example, school gymnasium, I think Robin wins. Because there's a lot of shenanigans Robin can do in a school gymnasium.
I also think Robin's probably better in hand-to-hand than Kid Bucky.
Yeah.
That's
probably true.
Just because he's got that peerless gymnastics going on.
But if Kid Bucky goes full evil, he could like intimidate Robin, but Robin doesn't get intimidated. He only gets intimidated when there's like a really stressful situation. If Batman's gonna get angry at him,
it would really happen if he's just fighting another, kid sidekick.
It'd happen if he's like fighting Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Right? But like another kid like him wouldn't probably bother him as much. Because he's like, oh no, because Batman is essentially his dad, and his dad doesn't approve of anything, so he's just like, anxiety.
Yeah.
Which is, what I'm pretty sure, one of the reasons he's just like, no, I gotta leave. I can't just stay here.
Yeah, I gotta get out. Goes to Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven needs to just get completely trashed by DC.
Yeah, rip Bloodhaven. Nightwing villains are actually just usually Batman villains, and I find that hilarious. Poor Nightwing.
Yeah.
But, Robin just has so much edge over Bucky. Bucky needs a grappling hook, too. Yeah. Everyone, and pretty much any street superhero that doesn't have, like, flight probably needs a grappling hook.
This is true. I mean, what's the downside to having a grappling hook?
There's just none, and it's not even like grappling hooks are hard to even get. Like you can get a like gas powered harpoon right now, and that's a
Yeah,
harpoon.
yeah.
Like though the person you're buying it from may give you a weird look. What are you using this harpoon for? Whale hunting is illegal. Who said I'm hunting whales? I'm hunting for justice.
Same. Oh dear. Um, what's another good one?
Um, Animu. Let's try some. Well, we Saber versus Ichigo Shikai post Bankai training with Saber's master Ishiro was always a solid one, despite everyone being like,
So close. Like
"Yeah,
they got similar levels of speed. Um, Saber can't just nuke him to oblivion. Um, um, Ichigo might have issues with invisible air.
yes," but that's what he's got full power. Shikai gets to get for
I guess,
because
but
full power broke through Byakuya Shikai.
yeah,
That's why I
but
said post Bankai training because pre Bankai training he can't do anything against invisible air.
yes, I get that. Um, but I don't think he's gonna be, firing off Getsuga's just right off the bat. He's gonna go in for a sword fight to begin with, and he will have issues with invisible air.
Yes. So Ichigo gets
Because
ridiculously physically strong in that arc.
yes, he does. It's a huge boon from his. Oh, I just am kind of superhuman in the beginning of Bleach to. Oh, I can fight captains. I won't win, but I can fight them.
Yeah, he's got like a 2.5 seat. Like he's almost one, but he's not quite a first seat.
Yeah,
Because at the end, when he like fights on their level, he's just like, oh god, I'm out of energy. I'm always out of energy. That's the problem. He gets there, he peaks at their level, but then he just starts to fall off because he's a teenager.
yep. And they're just like, we all trained for like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Kick.
Yep. I like when he ties with Kenpachi. And they're like, nah, man, you won. And he's like, nah, man, you won. And Byakuya, walks away and he's like, you win. And Ichigo's crying because he didn't.
Yep.
Byakuya made Ichigo cry for Ichigo.
Yep.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I was asking if you could hear me.
Oh no, I did not hear that.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm saying what I think it comes down to is I don't think Saber's willing to nuke the face off of a child, and I don't think Ichigo's willing to kill Saber, giving them both a handicap in that regard.
More, please.
Because like Arturia's not going to be like, I'm going to go kill some 15-year-old kid, and Ichigo's like, I am not going to kill some random girl that I just met.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't even kill villains.
yeah, Ichigo's nice.
Yep.
Because like when he goes for Grimmjow, he avoids his heart and hits him in like the upper shoulder.
Mm.
And Grimmjow's just like, nah, fight me. And Ichigo's like, dude, you lost. I could have killed you.
Yep.
Grimmjow's like, no, fight me. And then he gets one shot. And then Ichigo's like, see, this is what happens. And then he's like, no, Itora, that was the most a-hole move I've seen the entire time I've been here. And this is the realm of evil spirits.
Yes.
And Noitora just like, I know, I'm a sexist, misogynistic pig who stabs kitty cats. That was so
Same.
unnecessary of him. Freaking almost chopping Grimchow in half.
Hmm.
He threw it, nonetheless.
Yes. Um, Also, just him being like, "Oh, Ichigo's exhausted after fighting Grimjow." Noitora hops in. You gotta fight me. I'm stronger than this loser.
Yeah,
Ichigo, please.
Ichigo's just like, are you seriously trash talking me when I just had like a half-hour long fight with an Espada? To the point where Tears, Fraction were like, Jesus Christ, that's horrifying. Because
Yep.
that scene did happen where they're just like, that is actually not okay.
Yep.
Because even like Tier was like, yeah, that's like two Espada level fighters who are equal going at it.
Yeah.
Are we sure that's a teenage boy? Are we really sure?
Yeah. Then lucky for Ichigo at that point, you know, Nell turns into a furry and
Yeah.
um, uh, freaking Kenpachi shows up.
Yeah. Noitoro's just like, hey, you're a ripoff of me. And Kenpachi's like, shut up, I came first. That's essentially their conversation. Noitora wasn't even. Because Kenpachi doesn't kill people. Kenpachi only kills you if you ask him to kill him. To kill them. Because he doesn't like killing people, because if he kills them, he can't fight them again.
Yeah.
And Noitora was going to live, and then Noitora went full a-hole and tried to attack Kenpachi.
Hmm.
And Kenpachi was just like, ugh, okay. Gets a Tensho, kills him. That's essentially what that move was. Full power gets a Tensho.
Yeah.
Oh, in the manga, Ichigo and Kenpachi have the same spiritual pressure color.
Okay.
Yeah. So Getsuga Tensho is actually supposed to be golden.
Interesting.
Yep. It's kind of like when FMA just animated the watch as silver instead of gold.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't ask me why they did that. I don't know. I didn't like because I have the manga, and it's like in the first manga they say that the stopwatch is gold. There was no reason to make it silver, but they did it anyways because reasons. I guess I don't know. I really don't know actually.
I see.
Yeah, a lot of people went back and read the manga after FMA Brotherhood and were like, "Wait, it says it's gold." And I was like, "Yep, said that it was gold 10 years ago too." What's another good fight?
Um. Hmm.
Hmm.
Let's go Wrath from FMA versus how about Kiri Kotomine?
Oh, we did this one way back in the day.
That sounds familiar, but it's a good one.
Yeah. We talking original? Yeah. We talking Brotherhood canon Wrath, right?
Yeah, I'm talking Brotherhood Canon Wrath.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
good one.
I mean,
Uh,
the big thing is neither of them have, regen, even though the other homunculi have regen.
yeah.
And, that's what makes it a fight because, they both have, uh, superhuman strength, really good, wielding multiple weapons at once. Yeah.
How would black keys affect a homunculus that's not Wrath? Because they're like the spirit of Van Hohenheim's original homunculus split into multiple personalities
Hmm.
and then manifested in a human body without genitalia.
Well, I think it would probably be just as effective as normal black keys. You could still use it to pin their shadows.
Hmm.
Um, but
I ask because pride is actually an amalgamation of shadows.
yeah, that's a good question.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
Pride is still alive, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He's just a Shota right now.
he,
He's the child of the Fuhrer's wife now, if I recall correctly.
yeah, he didn't get killed. He just got like brainwashed or something, right?
Yeah, he got his memories erased and then turned back into a baby.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, he's the Fuhrer's wife is taking care of him.
Huh. Yeah, I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Um, that's weird, boys.
Yeah, which is why I'm like I'm trying to think how do you actually I'm surprised he actually is capable of living without Hohenheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hohenheim and his homunculus are just dead.
Hmm.
Yeah. Huh. Well, unnamed homunculus because Hohenheim's homunculus is actually doesn't have a real name. He calls
Yeah.
himself Hohenheim. Uh,
Yeah.
Edward just calls both of them bearded bastard.
Same.
Yep. Edward loves alliteration too. Yeah. Oh man, everyone forgets that Pride is still alive because he's the one that didn't die. Wait, did Envy die? I
Envy
know he
got
got.
a weird sword thing,
Yeah.
and then the Chinese people took him back to Shing.
Yes, because the Emperor is dying.
Yep, and they're like secrets of immortality, Mango. Um, yeah, FMA.
Yeah, FMA is something. I want to say Wrath is better at straight line dashes than Kiri, but Kiri is pretty good at that too.
Yeah. Um, the big thing is Kirei gets damaged and he's not even phased.
Yeah.
High caliber bullet, like to the arm, through his entire arm, twisted his arm and deflected it outside the other side of his arm, completely destroying his arm, and still, you know, mano a mano fought someone moving at superhuman speeds.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking prime Kirei here.
It's funny because that's
Not,
the one time mono e mono actually works. It just means hand in hand.
yes,
Because people just say that, and I'm like, that doesn't mean it's hombre v hombre. If you want to be like man versus man, you dorks. God dang it, America. Ugh. But I don't think Wrath has like if they're without their swords, Kiri destroys because Kiri's got that dank martial arts.
yes. I like how freaking everybody in Type Moon uses Li Xuan's martial arts.
Yes, including a little girl.
Yep.
Oh my god. And that martial
Like,
arts is so ridiculously dangerous too.
yes. Like, I can think of two people off the top of my head who use, like, Asian martial arts who don't use Baki Khan, and they are um, um, Surichiro Kazuki and um, The frickin' assassin of Shinjuku,
Yeah,
whatever his
Young
name is.
Jin, Young Kin, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like those are the two people who use Asian martial arts who don't use Bakugan.
Yep. All Miyako needs to do is awaken her demon blood, and she becomes a legitimate threat.
Yes.
She knows
Actually, what style of martial arts does Kishimakoma use?
he uses an Oni style monk martial art.
Okay.
It's only capable of being learned by someone who is a true beast.
Demon powers, please.
Yeah. So I don't think a Kiha or anyone who's like not Kishimakoma style can learn it. Because a Kiha, while she can do the red blood true Oni thing, I
Yep.
don't think she's a true beast like Kishimakoma.
Yeah, I get that.
So she can't use it, but like if you're like a full Oni, you can potentially learn it. But I think you're in the same position as a someone who's not an Oni, because I think
Hmm.
to be a true beast like Kishimakoma, you have to be a half Oni with strong blood, not a full Oni, not a human with weak blood, etc.,
Hmm.
etc.
Hmm. Yeah. The thing about Akiha is, I have a feeling the reason that she's not a freaking monster like Kishimakoma is because she's main branch. So, she has more control, I guess, over her demon side.
Yes, she does, but Kishimakoma's so much more effective in slaughtering things.
That's because Kishimakoma's OP.
He saw Vanto.
Kishimakoma 1v1 an entire family of demon hunters.
Yes. Nania's best ending is a mutual death.
Yes.
So terrible. The only reason he even gets a mutual death is because he gets one good cut at Kishima's throat.
Yes.
But his entire body is like near destroyed because Kishimakoma just beat him that bad.
Oh, Nania. Um, yeah, we should do a Mystic Eyes of Death Perception user versus, I don't know, someone else.
Not Kishimakoma, because he just breaks off their arms. He beats like Nania so bad in his own route that he doesn't have damage on him at the end.
Rip.
When he fought Nania's dad, it says that the battle was close, but it was already decided because his dad was a human and Kishimakoma is a monster. And that was when Kishima was like a teenager.
Yes. God.
Yeah. Kishimakoma wakes up and his first enemy is Arcute and he beats her up and leaves. I'm pretty sure that goes along the lines of Arc sees this guy, is just like, what? He kicks her in the face, and she just is so startled that she doesn't move. And then Kishima leaves, and she's just like, what was that?
That guy hit way harder than a human should have.
Because I guarantee that's what she did, because that's kind of like what happened with Tono.
Yes.
Arc would just be because they meet in like the park, and it's like a parallel, I guess.
Yep.
They don't say anything to each other, but like Kishimakoma is just like, that was a vampire. I hope I'm not drunk.
Yeah. Confirmed Arc is bad against surprise attacks.
Yeah. It's always Arc as your first enemy, so I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens. Because Kishimakoma doesn't kill anyone, but he beats the tar out of every single person he meets. He meets, what's her face? God dang it, did I really forget her name? With the shield. Violin.
Oh, Race by Stradbridge.
Yes.
Yep.
He meets her and then beats the crap out of her. So essentially, he's walking around and he's at the airport, right? And he's like, I guess I can't leave. Reese shows up and is like, you're a demon. And he's like, yes. She's like, I'm going to have to kill you. And he's like, you don't want to try. And she's just like, I'm sorry, but I can't let this pass, even though you seem like a nice guy. And Kishimokoma's like, okay, and he beats the tar out of her. And he's like, your fists are impressive because they protect people, and then he just leaves her unconscious body at the airport.
Please.
Yeah, and then White Landing encounters him and is like, "You're beating up everyone, and that is not according to the plan. You're not even supposed to be here." And he's like, "I don't care." And she's like, "I'm gonna have to stop you." And then he beats up White Land and leaves her unconscious body on the ground. And then he meets Nania, and Nania's just like, "I'm here to kill you." And Kishimokoma's like, "I don't want to fight." And he's like, "I'm here to kill you." And he's like, "Oh God, why is my entire night like this?" And he just beats the tar out of Nania and leaves him dead on the ground.
Jeez.
That is entirely Kishimokoma's route. His dialogue is with White Lan and Nania and Risvif. He also fights Nekoark Chaos, not Nekoark Chaos, but Narrow Chaos always, which probably implies that like Narrow Chaos tried to fight him. He slaughtered a bunch of the animals, and Narrow Chaos is just like, never mind.
Chaos leaves.
Yeah. He gets the really strong enemies in his arcade mode because he can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kishimakoma is just a monster, and they're like, yeah, Kiha can beat him when they're in red crimson form, and I'm like, yeah, but I feel like in base form he just like breaks her neck.
You're probably right. The big thing is when Akiha's in Super Demon mode, she has her freaking, hack special power, hair
Yeah.
cage, soul, heat absorption thing.
I think Kishima just lights everything on fire
That's probably correct.
because that's all his powers are. Oh, in his martial arts, he can light his limbs on fire and then punch you and kick you.
Yeah. Kishimakoma's pretty legit.
Yeah.
I like how, their demon powers are heat manipulation.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny because Arima Miyako was there. And she's like, I'm from a side branch, but I have like almost no demon blood left.
Yep.
Watch me punch you through this wall. Oh my! Her moves shake the screen, right?
Yes.
Because she's hitting you that hard. Because she knows a little Bajikan, but it's enhanced by the fact that Tatsuri knows that she knows Bajikan, and people think that because she knows a little bit of Bajikan, she's actually a martial artist master.
Tatari is amazing.
Yes. In actuality, yes, she's like she's like a yellow belt maybe, right? In like martial arts talk. But like in the the Tatari, she's like a quadruple black belt. Oh yeah, and she gets super speed.
Yes.
She gets after images because she moves so fast. She's like 10. In her route, she beats Akiha, and she's like, "Woo! I beat the evil demon sister."
Melty Blood is amazing. Everybody play Melty Blood. Good God.
It's a good versus game. It really needed a Melty Blood versus Unlimited Codes game.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. I would play the crap out. They need to release a new Type Moon fighter. Like, it's been like Unlimited Codes was the last one, and that was like what, 2006, 2007 maybe. Actually, I'm gonna look that
Too
up.
long.
Unlimited Codes come out. I'm of course going to look for the last port of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ports of Unlimited Codes are all a little different. Whereas, the latest port of Melty Blood is...
Just came out like last year.
Well, yeah, but it's literally just a rehash of one of the classic versions that came out a long time ago.
I believe it was 2008 that it came out, Unlimited Codes.
Yeah, it came out on PS2 in 2008, and then the next year in the States, it came out in 2009 on the PSP.
Yeah. I wish I could buy that. God dang it, but I can't because freaking took it off the store. Evil Capcom.
Hmm. It makes me so sad that they took unlimited codes off of PSN because
Yeah.
I don't have a legitimate copy of the game, and I would totally buy it.
Yes.
Yep.
The solo routes are great stories.
Yes.
Even if Medea's is actually bullcrap. There's no way she beats anyone. Sorry, Medea. Because you can't just leave the gate and actually beat people. It just doesn't happen.
Confirmed.
Keyraze is running the entire route. I love it. If I recall, at the end, his final boss is Soccer, and he just punches a hole through her chest. Something like that.
Sounds about right.
Cuckoo Lane uses Rule Breaker, then kills Medea. Because he's like, oh yeah, I'll join your team, just use Rule Breaker on me, and then he kills her. And then he goes and fights Kira Kotomine and kills him, and he's like, Jesus Christ. I didn't realize my master was actually somewhat dangerous. And then he dies immediately after. He was so shocked that Kira Kotomine was like actually putting up a fight as a human.
Yeah.
Probably because he thought that Kira just doesn't fight and was a coward, and he got hit by a punch and was just like, oh, that actually was something. Oh, okay. Kills him. But yeah, Ku's route is just divine justice for what happens in Unlimited Blade Works. And pre that, yeah. Because he gets revenge for Bazette.
Yeah.
Saber Ultra's route is funny. Because at the end, she's just like, oh yeah, I've slaughtered everyone. And she's like, the Grow War's not over. You're taking double mana. Something's wrong here. Regular Saber pops up. Yeah. Luvia route is the best route, though. She grapples Berserkules and, like, suplexes him.
Yes.
And Berserkules and Ilya don't.
Hello.
Say.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Did I cut out?
Yeah. Talking
I was saying.
Suplexing Berserkules.
Yeah, she suplexes them. Ilya doesn't know what to say. Berserkules doesn't know what to do. And then Luvia leaves. And Ilya and Berserkules still don't know what just happened. Essentially, she's just like, Luvia's a big fan of Heracles' muscles. She's like, that's impressive. He must work out a lot. Unaware that this is a holy grail war. And then she meets Lezirit and is impressed with her breasts.
Confirmed.
Yep. And then somehow ties with Rin, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Suplexing Berserkules, but you tie with Rin. I got you. Let's see. People also search for Fate games, Type Moon games, and fighting games. Thank you, Google, for that lovely insight on what people search for when they look up unlimited codes.
Same.
Let's do one good matchup to end the night.
Okay. I still want to do a Mystic Eyes Death Perception user versus someone. Let's see.
Probably have to be Tono, if anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not a lot of people in the peak human realm with weird powers.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I think. I mean, you did it versus Edward in the Death Battle community back in the day.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Let me just see if I can think of one more alter. I mean, I guess you could do Darker Than Black Guy.
I guess, but I feel like he just electro wires Tono
He does just Electro Tono.
because
He's Electric Batman, actually.
yeah, I mean, like, I mean, it feels bad, Tono, but you don't do very well versus tasers because you're not fast enough to, avoid or cut the thing before you get electrocuted,
Yeah.
and then
Poor
you're
Tono.
screwed.
If he fights Fate Shiro, can Shiro remake Kancho and Byakuya after he kills it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's just an image.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure because I thought he could. I was just like, yeah, let me double check.
well,
It hurts.
it's not like he's Ryugi who can just kill concepts with her eyes.
Mhm.
He can just kill the physical construct itself. So, he would stabby to the sword would break, but Shiro could just reconstruct it. You could make an argument that Ryugi could destroy the concept of Kancho and Bakia. However, because it's projections, he would still. He would be like the flying chick, Hirei Fujo,
Mhm.
wherein she had two bodies. Ryugi killed one body, but it wouldn't kill the other.
Mhm.
So he would still be able to just project Kancho and Bakia.
Mhm.
Anyway, Tono versus Shiro. All right, let's get that protagonist power going.
Okay. Oh, Fate Route Shiro. Shiro with all 10 seconds of experience in world life. Um, that's nice, boy, Shiro.
Yes.
Um,
Well, let's be real here. Shiro is nice, like hardcore, way too nice in all of the routes, including Heaven's Feel.
true.
Like Shiro's nice.
Oh, that's my bad. That's innocence, Shiro. That's the
Yeah,
term. Um, Shiro throws the box of like food from that one place he does like a part-time job at and wins.
same.
Uh, Aside from the fact that they'd instantly become best pals, Shiki has that assassin swag.
Yes. However, Shiro has way better physical physique
Yeah,
because not only can Shiro, um, actually, Fate Route Shiro probably can't reinforce his limbs. He'd probably blow his arms off.
yeah. He only reinforces that.
That bad in Fate Route. In Unlimited Blade Works in Heaven's Feel, you can make a better argument for, he can enhance his limbs to just make him physically superior. But,
There's a
huh?
oh,
Hello?
like Unlimited Blade Works. I think Shiro can just make too many swords. Not at once,
That's going to be correct.
but yeah.
Because Shiki is quick, but he's not that quick.
Yeah.
I mean, quick because he's a psychic assassin. Like, he's not quick because, he one punch mans it up like Shiro.
Hmm.
Where Shiro just works out and practices magecraft in his shed for like 400 years and is still terrible at magecraft.
Yeah, but at least he's good at working out.
Yes. Like,
It's funny because the character that people drop out. Oh, continue.
low key, Shiro is probably peak human for a high school teenager.
Hmm. You know what's actually hilarious though?
Huh.
Toma, which is the character that people draw parallels to Shiro, is he's peak human because people just like ganging up and trying to kill him all the time. It's not because he works out, because he's no because pre beginning of the series he's no taku, but he runs like 10 kilometers nonstop on an empty stomach without pause, full speed, because he's being chased by a bunch of gang members.
Please.
He's just like, so when he stops, he's like about to die. Like he feels like he's going to die, and Misuka's like, "Fight me," and he's like, "I literally can just not get a break, huh?" So unlike Shiro, he doesn't work out regularly. He just repeatedly just gets into horrible situations because of his arm canceling fate and luck around him. So everything, all the negativity just floats towards him.
Rip.
Yep. Though I'd argue that's exactly what happens to Shiro at the same time. Horrible negativity just flows towards Shiro's positivity. It's bad things. Bad things with protagonists. But I think if Shiki gets any limb, it's GG.
Yes. Well, again, Shiki can just kill if he gets close, is what it comes down to, I think.
I feel like if he tries to get close, Shiro just like right up just hits him right in the face with a Kansho or Byakuya. Like right in the face, dead center.
But Fate Route Shiro doesn't have Kanjo and
He
Byakuya.
doesn't?
He does not.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Then he's using
his projections are pretty much rudimentary.
So
He projects Archer's bow. He projects Caliburn. He projects Avalon at the very end.
doesn't he?
Um,
Oh yeah, his main weapon is reinforced random blunt objects that he likes carrying around with him.
Yep.
So let's assume he has a metal pipe
Okay.
because that's his like go-to reinforced steel object.
Yep.
Why does he?
Or, posters that Taiga keeps around the house.
Yeah. The fact that he just has a metal pipe is funny. He's just like, yep,
Yes.
this is the weapon I'm going to fight servants with, right here. This it's proven, tested. We're in like,
Sabers, like, please.
yes, stop it, Shiro. You're not supposed to fight in the Grill War. We're in the background, like his magecraft sucks. So this is what I'm going to assume. He has. He projects. I'm going to assume his main go-to is the arrow, bow and arrow, and the metal pipe. After Shiki destroys the metal pipe, it's over. But however, if he jumps to arrows first, Shiki has a harder time.
Yeah.
Shiro can jump and arrow shoot, correct? Not high, but like jump backwards.
You should be able to, yeah. Like,
Okay.
low-key, Shiro is a really good archer.
Yes, I know he was Shinji's rival. That was the whole thing.
Rivals, maybe not the best term. Like, he's so much better than Shinji that, Shinji convinced him to quit the archery club, basically.
Yeah, but to Shinji, he was his rival. To Shiro, Shinji is just his best friend.
Yep. Oh, Shiro.
Shiro's just like, yeah, Shinji's a dick, but he's like nice to me sometimes, maybe.
On occasion.
Yeah, sometimes he'll invite me to do stuff with him. Because Shinji doesn't low-key hate Shiro. He thinks Shiro's a nice guy, and he's like, yeah, I'll keep Shiro around. I don't want to kill him.
Yep.
Like, there's like Shinji's a dick, but he's not that dicky. Heck, Extra goes even further in saying you're a friend directly, not sarcastically or ironically.
Yep. Shinji is like a superhuman character. Like, sure, he's Shinji's terrible, but
Especially extra Shinji. Extra Shinji is super grounded, relatable.
well,
Like,
yeah, extra Shinji doesn't have regular Shinji's baggage.
yeah. It's because he doesn't have the chip on his shoulder because he's a prodigy hacker.
Yes,
Like, he's actually good at something, really good at something.
yes,
Yeah, because all the NPCs are like, you're fighting Shinji? Dude, he's like a top tier hacker. Good luck with that.
yep,
And I'm like, NPCs, thanks for your positivity. That's exactly what I needed. I know I'm going to beat Shinji, but, could you at least
mm,
try not to be jerks about it? And neither you or Shinji was like, oh, Shinji and you were like, oh, no, yeah, we'll just see each other after this. And like, oh, we killed him. And Nero slash Amia slash Mama were like, yeah, that's how a Grail War works.
yeah,
And Shinji and Hakuo are like, oh, we just, oh, oh. Hakuno's like, that was my only friend.
rip.
Oh, poor Hakuno. Next week, did we just kill a nice old man? We did just kill a nice
Yeah,
old man.
yeah, yes, you did. Hashtag Dan Blackmore did nothing wrong.
Yeah, true, though.
He's the
That is the
guy who
truth.
wanted to, revive his dead wife.
Yep. Oh, poor Dan Blackmore.
Yeah,
Oh, man. Did we just kill a psychotic little girl who tried to behead us at the end? Yes, we did. Yes, exactly what we did. Because she goes full off with her head towards the end, and Hakuno is like, oh, well, that changed tone very quickly.
yes. Low key, extra is great. Everyone should buy extra, play extra,
Extra is really good.
then buy Extella and play Extella.
Just don't expect extra from Extella. Expect Extella from Extella.
Yes, like, extra is a much better Holy Grail War simulator. Extella is, you want a whole bunch of deep lore? Extella.
It's also a better example of how Servant's powers work.
Yes, because Extella is bullcrap.
Yeah. Just ignore everything that happens with that version of Altera, though. That's like essentially Origin Awoken Altera, I swear to God. Because she actually knows that she's alien.
Yes. Also, her Noble Phantasm is like A plus 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 plus
Yes.
rank instead of A rank, like it is in Grand Order.
So, what would Altera's origin be? Just Sword of Mars? Because that seems to be the thing that they were implying in the final route.
Um,
Well, at least Dream Altera, not Titan.
I would argue that I would argue that Hero Altera, Earth Altera, and Titan Altera all have the same origin. I really don't know what it is though.
Bad
Like, I can't
civilization.
even wager a guess.
Bad civilization.
Same.
They were implying that her existence is essentially the sword, though. Like towards the end, because it's so close to her now, post her human life.
I get that, but you can't change your origin. Your origin is preset.
Did
You know what I'm saying?
Shiro's change from birth though, because of he became truly I am 100,000 swords?
Um, I think that was his affinity changing though. Like, because you look at like Collide Shiro, and his origin is still sword. Even though he's not. My whole life was destroyed, and now I exist to be a weapon as a hero of justice. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just
Like I get where you're coming from, and I do see were the games in playing this.
Actually, I think we should probably end the call since we got into Origins and everyone listening is probably like, what?
Yeah,
Did you say orgy? I know Type Moon is into stuff like that, but did you say orgy? I can't hear him. All right. With me today has been our actually most productive versus chat ever.
same.
And
Even though this is just Arcanist chat part 9,000 out of, the 9,004 any chats we've had.
yeah, we should probably do more versus chats in the future when they're more than just us.
Yeah,
We were supposed to be doing, sorry to all our fans who we promised to do versus chat since week 2, and we finally got to one that's actually a legitimate discussion, and it's probably like it's actually like week 64. That's not even a joke because we've been doing this for over a year.
yes.
So, all right, Alex with the outro.
I am the bone of my sword.
And Rin Tosaka is on the receiving end of the bone of that sword in Unlimited Blade Works, Sakura in Heaven's Feel, and Saber in Fate. And, well, if you count, what's his face? Never mind, I'm not even going to make that joke because it's a rape joke and it involves Alaraxia. So let's end this call.